semi-845, varsity man up. It's game time, everybody stand up. From my town to yours, we ready for sure. From the field to the court, yeah, we ready for war. This is 845, varsity man up. It's game time, everybody stand up. From my town to yours, we ready for sure. From the field to the court, yeah, we ready for war. I said it's game time, so it's time to score.
Hello everyone, this is Justin Rodriguez with the Varsity 845 football show, the state semifinal edition. Section 9 has 3 teams in the state semifinals for the first time in school history. That would be Chester, Cornwall, and Newburgh. Newburgh received a bye in the quarterfinals. Meanwhile, Chester and Cornwall posted big-time quarterfinal wins. We will look back at those demolition jobs and ahead to our team's opponents in the semifinals. For our feature this week, we chatted with some of Newburgh's kids, sophomore defensive back Jalen Williams and running back Anthony DeBose. DeBose is only a freshman, and the 2 players have been a big part of the Goldbacks' run this season. But first, we take a look back at last week. Chester entered last Friday 0-5 all-time in the state playoffs. Well, guess what? The losing streak is over. Chester overwhelmed Haldane 54-8 at Mahopac High School behind 227 rushing yards and 4 touchdowns by Saxon Smith. Quarterback Anthony Agnabeni passed for a touchdown, rushed for a score, and added an interception for a touchdown. Smith, sporting a mohawk, talked about the big Haldane win.
It's a lot. We never passed this point, and there's no point in stopping now. So hopefully we'll get all the way.
Smith now has 2,755 rushing yards on the season and needs just 79 to break Fred Ruliano's Section 9 season record set at Delaware Valley way back in 1998. In a battle of 11-0 teams, Chester takes on Cambridge, located near Saratoga, in the semifinals at 4 p.m. Friday at Dietz Stadium. In Section 9's other big quarterfinal win on Friday, Cornwall downed previously undefeated Poughkeepsie 44-19 at Dietz Stadium. Cornwall's defense pitched a shutout in the second half. And Cool Hand Mike, that would be Cornwall's sophomore quarterback Mike White, had another great game. He threw for 247 yards and 3 touchdowns and ran for another. Yep, Cornwall is hot. Cornwall linebacker Kevin McNally, named defensive MVP of the Poughkeepsie game, talked about the big win.
It feels great because, we were the underdog, came in, and then to play like we did, it's a great feeling. I mean, probably key was playing our offense. We got on them early, and then our defense stepped up big in the second half, so it really helped us out.
We'll have more on Cornwall and its semifinal opponent, Burnt Hills, later in the show. But now we move on to our feature for the week. Ravaged by injuries last season, Newburgh was a 4-win team last year. That won't cut it at NFA, and the Goldbacks have rebounded in a big way this season. We know about the upperclassmen for NFA who have done the job. Quarterback Mark Rizzio, 2-way linemen Michael Myers and Nick Bourne, linebacker Mike Sarasano. But don't forget about the young Goldbacks. Williams and DeBose have been a key part of Newburgh's run. Newburgh coach Bill Bianco talked about what Williams and DeBose mean to the team.
I'll just say this, it didn't just happen. We do a lot of stuff in the off season to get these guys to buy in and be committed and that type of thing, and they've stepped up to the challenge, and a lot of young kids can't do what we do in the off season, and they were able to do it, and it's great, obviously, to have young guys playing really a vital role in our team.
DeBose is closing in on 1,000 yards for the season, and he rushed for 120 yards and 2 touchdowns in a 46-21 win over Warwick in the Section 9 Class AA championship game. Meanwhile, in the Warwick game, Williams returned an interception 85 yards for a touchdown. DeBose talked about how it feels to make an impact for the Section 9 champs as only a frosh.
Well, my team, they expect me to do big things. They doesn't look at me as a freshman, even though they clown me as a freshman. But I like the challenge of being a freshman, being the youngest on the team, scoring touchdowns. Makes my team more reliable.
Great job, Anthony. Same to you, Jalen. Newburgh plays Shenendehowa in the Class AA state semifinals at 7 p.m. Saturday at Dietz. And that brings us to the moment you've all been waiting for, prediction time. We'll start with Newburgh and Shen. Shenendehowa is basically Newburgh's evil twin. The Albany area champ likes to run the ball, smash mouth style, just like Newburgh. Shenendehowa plays wicked defense, physical, just like Newburgh. The Goldbacks are 0-5 all-time in the state playoffs under its current format. Bourne talked about the big Shenendehowa game. Let's hear what he had to say.
I think us as a team will be real physical. You know, they really haven't seen a team like us in the schedule. I think, you know, if we execute, you know, do our assignments right on offense and defense, we'll be perfectly fine.
I'm going to take NFA by 3 points in this one. Why? The Goldbacks can hang pound for pound with Shen. And I like the Goldbacks' edge in field position with Jeremy Stinson booming touchbacks. That's a big key. One mistake and NFA could lose, but I'm sticking with the Goldbacks. On to A. Cornwall plays Big Bad Burnt Hills in the semis at 8 p.m. Friday at Dietz. Burnt Hills rushed for 527 yards in a 63-20 state quarterfinal win over Franklin last week. Burnt Hills runs a power offense and is physical. In one of my toughest picks of the year, I'm going to take Burnt Hills by a touchdown. Still, Cornwall streaking, hot, isn't going to back down, and they're capable of another upset. Keep in mind, I've picked against Cornwall the last 2 weeks, and they've proved me wrong. In D, you know the deal already. Take Chester over Cambridge in a shootout. Cambridge averages 50 points per game and has some weapons on offense. Skylar Saunders and Aaron Mulready each have rushed for over 1,000 yards, and quarterback Ethan English, only a freshman, can throw the ball. I still think Chester, as a team, will be tough to stop, and there is always the Saxon Smith factor. Take Chester by 2 touchdowns. Well, that's it for this week's show. As always, it was my pleasure. Now it's time for me to sign off for the Varsity 845 football show. I'll see you at the Carrier Dome next week.
Town we yours, we ready for sure. From the field to the court, yeah, we ready for war. This is 845, varsity man up. It's game time, everybody stand up. From my town to yours, we ready for sure. From the field to the court, yeah, we ready for war.
I said it's game time, so it's time to score. If you're not playing to win, then what you